Hey everybody, it's April 19th. Oh, the day before Ishtar Day, Easter. Anyway, um, this is a quick story time. Okay, this is something that has happened within the last 2 months. Off and on, but leading up to the climax today. Okay. This has to do with me stepping out there as a single, sexy, and free person. Source told me to get out there and, just at least, just get out there and date, have a little fun in life. You ain't got to do nothing with nobody. Go out on a date. Check them out. Check the energy out. Get it out. You know what I'm saying? So, me being the way that I am, and I listen to Source when Source tells me stuff, I am obedient. I try to be as obedient as I possibly can without fighting too much with Source back. I try to do what Source says do. I got out there. I'm not going to say it was that it's going to deter me from going out there, but it has deterred me from one particular set of persons. Okay. All right. Anyway, so this is about this divine chosen one who went out on her first date in a long time with a white tea person. And when I say white tea person, I'm not talking about YouTube like this is this. I'm talking about a peach colored person. Okay. I met him at a gas station. Went in for gas, coffee, that kind of that jazz, and he said he noticed my smile. I smile, y'all, and he noticed it, said it was beautiful, and he wanted to see if he could at least take me out, get to know me. No problem. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and take that little step, see, just try to feel. I already knew, y'all, I ain't gonna end up with a white man. I'm sorry. I'm not going up with a white tee, okay? I love my brothers. Let's just get it out there. I love my brothers. And I'm definitely not going to go towards any woman. I love my brothers, okay? Now, I am around about, because I do have a daughter who is, her father was from Gambia, so African. And then I have a daughter whose father was Hispanic and white. Okay, so I am around a way girl, but I love my brothers. Okay. Now, all that being said, is we exchanged numbers, and we texted each other, talked on the phone, just a few times. I noticed that he's a little impatient. He would text me at times and I have my own business, so I go out whenever I'm ready to go out. And if I'm out and out doing my business, then I'm out and out doing my business. And at that, I'm DoorDashing, I'm Uber eating. So that means I'm driving, I'm delivering, I'm moving. Okay? And I would tell him, hey, I'm out here doing my Uber eating or my DoorDash or whatever. And I'm like, so if you want to talk to me, I'm more than willing to have a conversation with you. But just know that my answers are going to be, might be a minute because I'm driving and I don't text and drive. Or I might be out walking about, and taking something somewhere or picking something up. I'm not going to be looking to answer your text at the very moment that you send them through. First and foremost, I really don't like to sit there on my phone and text a conversation. It is so much easier for me if you would just fucking call me. We can talk, and then we can get off the phone and go about our fudging business, right? The easiest thing to do is go and get the conversation over instead of me using my, because I'm not a plausible thumb person. I'm not one of those. Okay. But that being said, anyway, there was times that he would try to get in touch with me, and like I said, I would be busy doing what I'm doing or whatever. And so one time he literally told me, he was like, I had told him I'm busy, and he got upset with me because I didn't answer one of his texts right away. I answered it like 5 minutes later after I stopped driving and got into the store, and he had sent another text. So then I went ahead and answered both of those texts at the same time. Then he comes back talking about, do you want me to call you, or would you rather me just end this conversation, because I don't like waiting 5 minutes for an answer. Well, first off, I already told you what I was doing. I already warned you that it might be a minute before I might answer. You still wanted to have this conversation. I'm being the nice person that I am. Maybe I ought to learn how to do that. Just tell you fucking no. We'll talk another time, right? But I didn't do that. I was being nice. Let's have a conversation, okay? But just understand. Now, if you want to continue this conversation, as long as you understand that I am working and I may take a minute to answer. He acted as if he understood and he wanted to continue the conversation, so that's what happened. Then he gets mad because I didn't answer him right away. See, and then the other part of that was I didn't answer him right away because he wanted to keep telling me how much he loves my body and he wants to have sex with me. You ain't a Negro, but let me say Negro, please. Or in this case, nigga, please. Okay? I'm not wanting to have that conversation. We not there. Nowhere near. Who you think I am. What you think this is. That is me, right? So I try to deter the conversation. I'm a nice person now. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But when you show me, you show me. And trust me, my intuition already telling me. Already telling me. And I knew we won't be very much longer having too much of a conversation at all. Okay? But I'm going to let this play out. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason why we met. There's a reason for everything. Right? So, we got off the phone with that conversation. I went on about my day, the rest of my evening, finished my work that night, all that jazz, no problem. He comes texting me one day and asked me out for coffee. Again, I'm doing what I do every day. I'm on my grind. And so I was like, I'm trying to make some time for you today. I might be able to make some time for you today. I don't have it, I just want you to know, though, my daughter, she rides with me every day. She does not go to school. She's 17. She's not in school. Since 2020, since 2019, 2020, was it? My child did not go back to school. Okay? They had them out, that kind of thing. All right, so that's not part of the story, so that's neither here nor there. Other than the fact that she's always with mother, okay? And so then it was like, he was like, well, I'll pay for your daughter to eat if y'all want to eat. And I was like, you don't have to. Thank you. I'll take care of her. She's good. I got her. I was like, I won't even have her sitting at the table because it's a date. So I wouldn't have her sit at the table with us, She might end up just sitting out in the car knowing her. I'm not going to be in here very long. I'm probably give you a good hour of my time. But I got to get back to work. And so just basically call this my lunch break, right? I'm giving myself an hour lunch break, okay? And I was like, so you don't have to pay for her. I didn't ask you to. He understood that. Well, things happened and it just did not come together. So he, seeing how it was getting later and I still had not been able to tell him, okay, I'm ready to meet up where you want to meet. So he come texting me and said, hey, look, you don't look like you're going to ever have any time for me. You got your channel you got going on now. You got your businesses that you're trying to get up and running, the businesses that you're already running, the door dashing and the eating and all that stuff. He was like, so I don't think you're really gonna have much time for me, and I would really like to have somebody that's gonna have time for me. Okay, well, I'm sorry, excuse me, y'all, my little light fell. I was like, I understand that, no problem. I was like, and he was like, so you take care of yourself. Good luck with all the things that you got going on. And he was like, but, and I said, okay, I understand. There's no problem here. I was like, you might be right. Right now, it's just not the time, right? I don't have a problem with it. I'm a detachment monster. Maybe that's what it is. But that's how we ended it. And I told him, take care of yourself. Take care of your life. Have a nice night. Take care of yourself. No problems, right? So this man, that's how we ended it, y'all. I thought it was over. Well, what is it when a woman doesn't give you what you're looking for? You wanted me to chase you. You wanted me to make you the most important thing in my world. You wanted me to want you, right? And none of those things were in my sorry, y'all. None of those things were there for me. Because, see, for one, you just kept constantly asking me about sex. And I need you to talk to my mind. I need you to stimulate me up here, because I'm so far up there in the spirit realm with the Most High that you wanted to bring me back down to my root. I'm up there where whoever I get with, we on a whole nother divine level. We gods up here having. Okay? I'm not a regular. I am not a regular. So I'm going to say this now. If you are regular and you thinking that you're going to come at this. And no, I don't think I look all that great. I'm not the best. But I know I'm pretty. And I know that my inside is the most beautiful. Even though y'all might think I got attitude problem. Y'all really don't know me. I carry attitude, yes. But I am one of the sweetest people that you know. That you would ever meet, actually. But I got another side of me, too. Okay? I try to keep that one under wraps, but I have merged both sides together, my dark and my light. I am balanced in that. So, I'm not a regular. And so if you think I'm a regular and you're regular and you want to try to apply for the position, don't get your feelings hurt, okay? Don't get your feelings hurt. That's how I'm going to need that one. So anyway, he must have thought that about me. And I didn't care. So a couple of weeks went by. I hadn't heard from him, and that was good. I thought it was over, right? That he was done. He said what he needed to say. I said what I said. This man come texting me, asking me out on a date. He was like, I really would like to get to know you. So, can I please take you out on a date? No, before. Wait a minute. Which is why I should never have went on the date in the first place. This is where I made my mistake, okay? But me being who I am, I'm a nice person, and I'm like, shit, I already knew I'm going to give it to him, so he can say what he want to say. He can keep on asking all day long till he blue in the face. He can beg and plead for my sympathy, but it was not happening with me, okay? So he come texting me. We're talking and everything, and here he come talking about how he, really would love to have a night with me. And I laugh it off, y'all. I laugh out loud. Okay, whatever. I'm not really having this conversation. I will change the subject, whatever. And but he tried to bring it right back. So then at one point in the conversation, he was like, well, I had 3 women that had stalked me. And it's like, okay, why are you telling me that? And he was like, I'm just bringing up conversation, making conversation. I said, okay, well, whatever. And this is actually having a conversation on the phone, you know. And I said, well, you say they stalked you. I said, so you being the common denominator, what did you do? And he was like, why does it always have to be the man's fault? I said, I didn't say it was always the man's fault. I said, but you said it was 3 women that stalked you. So that would make you the common denominator because it was 3 separate women. You are 1 man. So what did you do? Was it that you are so good that you laid pipe and they just lost their mind? Or did you do something to them and they were stalking you because they really wanted to get revenge? Which one was it? What did you do? And he was like, well, shit. He was like, I guess I laid pipe. I don't know. I guess. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I changed the subject after that, y'all. I don't want to continue in this conversation. Stimulate my mind. So I go back to talking about, spiritual things. Can we talk about something spiritual? Can we talk about something politics? Me being out here trying to learn this new spiritual stuff and it's new to me. I'm like a baby in a candy store. So learning all this stuff over again. Yeah, baby steps, right? So I really don't know what to talk about on a date. I haven't been on a date in because that's not me, right? That wasn't me before. Okay, it wasn't me before. And we already had 16 minutes with this story because I talk. But anyway, it wasn't me before. But before is like, hey, we might go out on a date, but then and then we together or we're not together, and you go on about your business and I'm going about my business and on to the next. That was me. Yes, I was that promiscuous girl. It's the truth. I'm honest about my shit. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So before you say anything else about it, please, because my lessons were learned, and that's why I'm ascended. Right? Okay. So anyway, so it's just like, okay, this, you want to keep on having this conversation. And so as we were, I changed the subject and everything. He came to the point where he said, well, it is a man's world, right? And I said, not for very long. And then that's when I changed the subject. I said, not for very long. And that's when I changed the subject, right? It's a man's world, not for very long. That was me. Not for very long. This man read, how long is your dong? So he sent me a dick pic. I literally said, what the? I said, how presumptuous of you. I did not say, he said, and then he went back and looked. I said, what made you think I wanted a picture of that? And he said, well, I thought you said how long, like you wanted to know how long my, and I said, but go back and read those words again. Read what you texted. And then read what I said. He said, yeah. No, you were already ready to send me a picture of your son. And he asked me to send him a picture of mine. That's when I ended that conversation in the night. So I'm gonna need you to go back and try this again. You got one more time. I might. But I'm seeing that no. We're not going to go anywhere. So, of course, y'all, he eventually called me up and it's like, okay, all right, I get it. I'm sorry. I really am. And he was like, but I really do want to take you out on a date. I would like to take you out. Can I take you out for breakfast? And I was like, okay. I'll let it be one more time. Take me out for breakfast. Okay. No worries. So the day of the breakfast, we had set the time, and he had told me that he had a poker tournament to go to, at noon. And so he set up, he asked me what time, and I said, well, you pick a time, and you tell me, I said, right now, I'm at the time I'm not wanting to think like that. I'm doing things, and so I'm not really wanting to think, so I'm going to let you handle this one. This is you asking me out on a date, so I'm going to let you handle this. Be the man you say you are. Do you do, right? Take the lead on this, okay? And so then he set up time. Okay, how about 10:30? 10 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock, because he had to be there at 12. So maybe it was 10, I think it was. And then he was like, and I was like, okay, that's great. That's fine, 10 o'clock. And he, we'll go to IHOP. Okay, I'll meet you there in the village where IHOP is. I'll meet you there. Because we live off grid, me and my daughters, we stay off grid, so it's like, it's 30 minutes to the village where we had to go. So, from where we are, it's at least 30 minutes. So, I was like, we'll meet you there. And I'll meet you there, whatever. And so the day, the day of or whatever, he called me about 15 minutes before we were supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there, and I told him I'm running late because I'm waiting on my daughters. We had some business to do. It's a Saturday, but we had some business to do in that village, and so there would be no reason for me to go on a date and then go back and pick them up and then come all the way back, when we could just take care of our business and then go home and be done for the day, right? And not have to get back out. So that was the plans, had nothing to do with anything. But I told him, I said, I'm waiting on my daughters to get ready, so I'm going to be probably at least 30 minutes late. I said, I'll be there by 11. I should be there by 11 or so, right? And he was like, oh, okay. So then he texted me and was like, booth or, table. And I was like, booth is fine. No worries, And then he came back and texted again and was like, since you're going to be late, I'm going to go ahead and order my food and eat. He was like, I will wait for you. I told you I got a tournament at 12. I will wait for you so that I can pay for your food only. I'm not paying for anybody else's food. And then, I'll probably have to leave early because I got to go to my tournament. Okay, well, I said, all right. I came back and said, okay, I understand about you leaving, and that's fine if you want to order your food. I don't have no worries with that. It's no biggie. I said, I do apologize again about the lateness, but, it is what it is. I was ready to go, but my daughters weren't, okay? And I was like, but, however, I did not ask you to buy my daughter's food. I didn't say anything about you buying my daughters their food. I didn't say anything about that. We can take care of that ourselves. I was like, I literally am bringing them because of the simple fact that we got business to take care of, and we're not going to drive back. I'm not driving back and forth. That's gas, and that's gas money, and I'm not doing it. He said, oh, I understand. Okay, yeah. So when I got there, of course, he hugs me, and he's hugging me real tight. He holding on to me tight, and I hugged him back, because that's how I greet people. I'm used to that, no problem. But, however, he was like, you didn't want to let me go. And I was like, don't flatter yourself. I said, I hugged you because you were hugging me, but as you can see, I was the one that had to pull away first, but okay, whatever. So we're sitting down at the table. I ordered me a egg white omelet with spinach and grape tomatoes, right? And then a fruit bowl and some water and coffee. My meal was no more than $12 with the tax, okay? $12 with the tax. Take note of what I just said. It was no more than $12 with the tax. Okay? So I'm eating. The whole time I'm eating, he's sitting there with me. He's watching me eat, and he's looking at me. He's talking about, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And he wants to talk about how he wants to kiss me. He wants to have sex with me. And this place is busy, and I'm laughing at a lot of stuff that he's saying. I'm laughing it off, but he was like, you're not saying anything. What do you think about me? And I was like, just not, I'm not feeling that part right now. I just want to eat this food and have another conversation. I know you want to have sex with me. I said, you have made that very clear that you want to. I literally told him that, yo, I'm straight up. You have made it very clear that you want to have sex with me. And I said, and it seems like I have made it very clear to you that I'm not trying to have that conversation. If you don't want to really get to know me, then there won't be more after this. But if you want to get to know me, then get to know me. Okay? If it happens, it happens. But I'm not that person. Okay? So he's like, okay, all right. I'm gonna leave it alone. I get it. Mm-hmm. But yet and still, he got up, came over and was like, can I get a kiss at least? So, okay, you really messing this up for yourself. It's okay. You really messing it up for yourself, but it's okay. So, the date is over, y'all. And he walked me outside. And I'm standing there, I didn't even walk to the car because I didn't know if my daughters were in the car, if they had went into IHOP or not. They were in the car. They had sat in the car when I left. They were like, we're fine, we're going to sit out here or whatever. If we go in, we're going to get us something to eat. Okay, no problem. But I didn't walk him to the car. I didn't let him walk me to the car. We stood in the parking lot of IHOP and we, had our last little bits of discussion. And he was like, are you going to at least call me? And I said, well, we can probably talk, but it is what it is, just, you can call me. I said, I'll let you know if I'm available to talk to you or not at that point. I really don't know what to tell you. I'm just not, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I said, I told you I haven't been on a date in forever, so I really don't even know how to be on a date, honestly, to tell you the truth. So this being my first experience on a date and ain't doing so well. So I was like, but yeah, whatever, you can call me if you want to call me. I don't care. You can talk to me, you can text me. I'll talk to you if I can, if I'm able. Otherwise, I'm gonna let you know that, hey, I don't have the time right now, so that you won't get upset about that anymore. Yeah. And so then he was like, okay, but he's steadily trying to nudge up on me, and he put his arm around me at one point, right, and pulled me real close to him, and I kind of pulled away. Let me explain to y'all how I felt at that very moment that this man put his arm around me. Have you ever had that feeling in I don't know what it is, but it like your skin crawls, but it's on the inside. It just feels like, just when I tell you I tensed up so like 10 times, tense, y'all, tense. And I knew what it was, right? It was my blood, my ancestors, the ones that had went through antebellum. If you know anything about antebellum, the ones that went through all of that, my Seminole, my Creek, the ones that were put in prisoners as prisoners of war. And we can go all the way back to when they started raping the women. The beginning. The very, very beginning. Yeah, because I'm from back then. All of that is in me. If you don't understand the trauma of every single ancestor in your bloodline, any traumas that are in you, that's what makes you up. And when I tell you I felt that, it's like they did not want him touching me. So I kind of pulled away. And when I pulled away, Oshun showed up. Now, Oya my mama. Oshun, I still call her mama too. But she auntie. But she showed up. Now, she didn't bother me with the bee. Because she sent a bee. Oshun shows up every time with a bee. Okay? And she know, the bees know. Me and the bees have an understanding. It's baby steps, and I'm still working on that. But I don't freak out when I see a bee no more. I don't freak out. I let them even come near me. And I just be like, hello. But, hey, just understand I'm still kind of... Because I know you don't want to die if you sting me, and I don't want to die if you sting me. Okay? All right. Get it? Allergy? All right. So, the bee was flying all around him. And I said, oh, hi, Oshun. Hi, mama. And he was like, oh, your ancestor's showing up? I said, oh, yeah, she checking you out. She checking your energy out. She gonna let me know if I need to go any further with this. I said, the bee is gonna tell it all. And he was like, well, is she telling you right now? I said, oh, no, she gonna tell me later. She gonna tell me when I'm not around you. She's gonna let me know, though. I'm gonna hear it loud and clear. But I already knew. So we said our goodbyes. He said, I hope you'll call me. I really do hope you'll call me. And I said, well, you have a good tournament. Good luck. You gonna rock it on your tournament. I speak life into you. You gonna rock it at the tournament. I don't know if he rocked it at the tournament or not, y'all. Because when I got into the car, Mama Oshun, loud as day, was like, honey. He ugly on the inside and outside. And she said, he full of parasite. Okay. So that was the date. And I said, you know what, Mama? I already know. Because I'm tired of him asking to have sex with me. And I said, and I felt everybody. I could tell someone right. And they didn't like him. Okay? So, I ain't called him. 3 weeks done passed. I noticed it. I was like, ooh, I haven't heard him. So maybe he got the hint, right? Why today, y'all, I get a text message from this man this morning. First thing this morning, I want to say it was probably like 9 something this morning. Might have been 9 something this morning. And it wasn't no hello, how you doing? I haven't heard from you or anything. It wasn't like that. It was literally, so you gonna let me hit it or not? What did y'all hear what I just said? This man was like, are you gonna let me hit it? And so I said, oh, wow. First thing came out of my mouth was, Grand Rising. That's how we greet each other around here. Grand Rising. That's how we greet each other around here. Okay? Yeah. So he was like, yes or no. And then he said hello. Okay? Because it took me a minute to answer him in the first place. I was like, I really am not going to go there with this man. But yeah, I had to tell him, Grand Rising. That's how we do it around here. And yeah. Y'all, when I say the man came back with that, and then I answered his yes or no, and I was like, I'm going to respectfully decline. I was like, for one, I think I've met someone, and I think I'm falling for him, and I believe he's falling for me too. Now, that's a lie, right? That could be a lie, right? I don't know. There's some out there that, saying hello in some ways, but nothing concrete, right? But, however, I utilize that because, hey, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. And so I was like, and, I think he's, kind of digging me too, whatever. So I was like, we gonna see how where this goes, right? We gonna see where this goes. And so I was like, so yeah, I'm gonna say no, but you take care of yourself, and I hope you find what you're looking for, basically. Well, he came back and said, no worries, I still got somebody to take care of my cock. I was like, oh, okay. But then I got a video. And when I opened up the video, it was a man sucking his ding-a-ling, y'all. It says, this nasty dog. Right? And then he commenced to texting me, gold digging nigga. Did y'all hear what I just said? Gold digging nigger. I looked at that and I said, $12 meal makes a gold digger. $12 meal makes a gold digger. And then I became a nigger. Wasn't that before when you was trying to get it, right? I said, you wanted this goddess gold, got told no, and are now mad. Go fuck yourself and that dude, you nasty dog. Anybody want to tell me I'm wrong? That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Have a good day.